During the holiday season, there is often an increase in scams and fraud. We talk about this all the time. Scams targeting older adults, though, actually on the rise right now. In 2021, scams targeting seniors resulted in $1.7 billion in losses. The most common financial scams include government impersonation scams, sweepstakes scams, and robocalls. With more on all of this and what everybody should do to be aware of it this time of year is Dr. Kevin Manning, a neuropsychologist and associate professor at UConn Health. Dr. Manning, good to see you. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
Good to be here. Thank you.
What makes seniors more susceptible to financial scams or exploitation right now?
You know, we're learning that there are changes in the aging brain, even in the absence of Alzheimer's disease or other neurodegenerative conditions, that increase or render older adults vulnerable to financial exploitation and poor financial decision making. Yeah, for example, changes in thinking and memory, worsening depression, loneliness, those factors might increase susceptibility to scams.
I'm curious if sometimes just not understanding how it all works can confuse people. I know my own mother last year called me and someone almost tricked her into giving them her Social Security number. Are there certain types of scams that older adults are more vulnerable to or really should be aware of?
Yeah, you know, as you're describing, older adults should be aware that scammers want older adults to act right away. They're trying to create this sense of urgency. Scammers might impersonate a government agency like the IRS or that person's bank or even their grandchild. In each case, the people perpetuating these scams are seeking access to personally identifiable information like bank account information or social security numbers. They want them to send money. Of course, everybody should know not to give out personal information to somebody who calls or texts, no matter what the circumstances, regardless of who they claim to be or how urgent they say the situation is.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably the bottom line here, right? Just hang up the phone. Don't reply to an email.
Yeah.
Maybe call one of your kids or something like that and ask.
Exactly.
I understand you're doing a little research project about this. What's that all about? Maybe not little.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say it that way, but
yeah.
it's probably quite large.
You know, we're fortunate to have funding from the UConn Pepper Center or Older Americans Independence Center. This was named after the late U.S. Representative Claude Pepper. The goal of Pepper Centers is to prolong the independence and autonomy of older adults. We're conducting a study on financial decision-making in older adults. We're trying to understand what are the motivational factors, the cognitive factors, the emotional factors that contribute to scam susceptibility in seniors. We're particularly concerned about a subtype of depression, apathy, or a lack of motivation as a risk factor for poor financial decision-making. Our goal really is to hopefully treat these symptoms of apathy, prolonging independence in our seniors.
Before you go, doctor, do you see people who get, almost upset with themselves if they get tricked into something like this? I mean, it's very easy. I don't care what age you are. The spam calls, things like that. The emails are tricky nowadays. It can happen to anybody.
Sure, absolutely. And people are reluctant to admit that they've been victimized or actually fell for one of these scams. So, you know, the numbers you cited before, those might even be underrepresentations of the true nature of how prevalent this is out there.
All right, Dr. Kevin Manning from UConn Health, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Good luck with your study you're working on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Take care.